I feel like I'm doing a tour of podcast recording studios. Today, we're going to General Banter HQ, Colin Geddis' podcast. What's happening, fellas? Nice.
What's the crack?
Alright.
What's happening?
I'm late. Sorry I'm late.
Just in my podcast studio watching my own podcast on my own podcast.
Is that what you're doing? Watching yourself?
Yeah, fully immersed.
Nice, someone's got it.
Yeah.
This is called R&D, I guess, for me. Fill in a gap is filling in a gap again. And this is the General Banter Podcast studio, which every time I come here gets more and more high tech. We've got a lantern light here. So what are we running here? Roadcaster?
Roadcaster.
Yeah. Roadcaster.
Some sort of China ball. Some sort of strip lights from China. Sponsored by China, essentially.
China.
Nice. So, as you can see the setup, Colin's built himself a little dark room. We get 3 cameras, all Blackmagics, yeah?
Yeah.
So 6K and 2 4K Blackmagic cameras, all running through one desk. Niall's doing all the magic behind the camera. How?
Shit.
Just flicking. Fuck, it's such a setup though.
Oh, full screen? Wow.
Jesus Christ. Look at
That's
that.
where you're meant to
Nice, I see that, yeah. That guy's late as usual. And then that's the setup there. It's very sexy. It's a very sexy setup. And then I like custom.
be. Yeah, man Frodo.
Yeah, I
Don't
like.
give all our secrets away, man! That's 200 quid.
Is that? I like that. Like, yeah. Whose idea was that?
That's a fucking Leica piece of paper that costs fucking £800.
I like it's perforated at the bottom there just to give it a little bit of texture. Hard drive just hanging off the back. I like that. And mostly notice that your center pole is up. So that's a gutsy move. Center pole's up on 2 of the tripods.
On 2.
Why do you have your center pole up?
Because I couldn't be arsed moving the legs, so. I just learned what a center pole was.
I don't know, some sort of freaking photography joke about having your center pole up and that not being cool.
You put that up first, then you put the legs up.
Yeah. Yeah. You put the legs down flat and then center pole at max. So what they've got around the back here, a Godox VL150 light with a lantern, little remote switch. Niall has taught me today that, who was that? That he has a controller. Cut that bit out. Somebody just walked in randomly and burped. And then 2 NAND light bands in the back here. It's a decent little setup. Niall.
Yes.
What's your biggest challenge recording this podcast? Well, yeah, outside of the obvious.
People not knowing how to use mics.
Really?
Probably. I'm not talking to them, but no, it's fine.
Leaning too far back, or?
Lean too far back, because them mics, like, you do need to be sort of like a fist away.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. But
fuck.
no, it doesn't really matter.
I was about a meter back at some of those.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll deal with that. But yeah, it's fun because obviously the set sort of changes quite a bit. And then knowing how you want to light it and stuff. But I think like this sort of setup with the China bowl and stuff, like you get even distribution with stuff.
Yeah.
And it looks alright.
Yeah, nice. I like it. It looks good, yeah. Comfortable chairs as well.
Argos, shout out.
It's nice. It is very cool.
We're doing one of the 12 pods of Christmas.
Okay. Who else have we got on this?
We have had, oh my god, we just had Adam McPeak from I Love Bass and Hype Factory. We had him in this morning. We've had Phil Graham, we've had Kieran Bartlett. Who else have we got? Kieran Kev, Maureen and Paddy McGurgan, the world famous makeup artist. Al Many, big wave surfer.
Nice.
You know him.
Yeah.
He knows you. Who else we got coming on? Tom the Bear.
Is that? Yeah.
Connor Keys, talk some conspiracies, and then we have a live one. So
It's a good eclectic mix. Good mix. And for folks who don't know how to get hold of those things and want to watch them, what's the best way?
get yourself on over to patreon.com/General Banter Podcast, which will just unlock the door to hundreds, if not thousands, of hours of content.
There you go. Symbols. This is nice. I like all the cables.
Yeah, a guy made those for me. Guy works for Gear for Music.
Yeah, that's cool. It's little touches, isn't it?
He sent those in color coordinated, and then we changed all the color scheme, but it's all good.
Yeah, it's cool. And then Visual Waste does all the graffiti, does he?
Yeah, that is all the graffiti. Just that one bit, basically. But he did that.
guys.
Cool. Right. Thanks for the coffee. Right, I'll stop fucking around now. We can do this. Like they keep unclipping on stuff. These are new though.
Yeah, I keep chopping and changing.
How many are you doing today?
2.
Just the 2. I like this pose. That's good. That's a proper ninja pose there. I like that. Guys, thank you very much for having me.
No problem at all.
Always a pleasure coming in. I really appreciate it. Right, see you later.
Yeah, where are you going now?
Right. Done. I've been on Colin's podcast a few times now. That's the 3rd time I've been on it. When you look at like the setup that they have in there and just how organized it is, it's a very professional setup. Very cool to get on and see it. I've definitely felt more relaxed that time round. First couple of times I was on that podcast, it's like a nervous wreck because I was like, I don't know what to say. It's kind of intimidating. Especially the first time I felt it was very intimidating being on a podcast with someone who's paid, who is a professional funny guy, you know? And then there's me, professional dabbler at things. So, right, what am I doing next? I am going to traffic. Oh, so I'm out of the traffic. I'm back at home now. I'm holding my microphone because I lost the little doohickey thing that holds the mic on the mic stand. So this is where we're at. I've also changed my beanie because I've lost the beanie in the process. Look, I'll be honest with you, this is a different day. This is not the same day. This is another day. I've lost that beanie. I've had to put this General Banter beanie on, which is probably what I should have been wearing from the very beginning, but it's very tight on my big spherical ball head. So looks like you've tried to squeeze a kid's sock onto a watermelon. Feels like that as well. But yeah, that is the 3rd time I've been on Colin's podcast, and it was good fun. I really enjoy it. If you're from Northern Ireland and you haven't heard of Colin Geddis, right? Where have you been? Because the dude is a legend here. He is also a very well-traveled and seasoned comedian all over the world. He goes to the States and stuff and does tours and things, and people love it. The first time I ever saw him was like in the Apple store years ago, and I'd been watching his Barry the Blender Henderson shows on YouTube, and I saw him in the Apple store, and I remember looking over at him, like nudging the guys with, and I was like, "That's your man, Geddis." And they were like, "Who?" And I was like, "Barry the Blender." "Oh yeah." And I remember watching him. It was incredible. And then anyway, I met Colin through a mutual friend of ours, Dean, Visual Waste. If you ever heard of him, he's a street artist in Belfast. So yeah, I've become friends with him over the years, and I do a bit of work with him, help him out with bits and pieces. Early days of his vlog when he was trying to get other people to help him do that, and then I do a lot of like in-phone filming and editing, not reviews, that's the wrong word, overviews, is that the right word? Roundups of his live shows, whether those are the big arenas or whether it's a live podcast and things like that, and I shoot photos and stuff for him at those events as well. So it's good fun. I quite enjoy it. I'm fascinated by the behind the scenes of the stand-up comedy scene, I guess, and I have a lot of respect for Colin, what he's done, what he's built, not only with the stand-up comedy but with his podcast. So it is always an honor to be invited onto the General Banter Podcast. If you haven't heard it, highly recommend going and have a listen. Some of them he has guests, some of them he does by himself. Definitely be an inspiration to me for podcasting. The quality of the actual content, and then the quality of the production that he puts out. And Niall behind the scenes there, working the cameras, working the editing, all that sort of stuff. The stuff those guys are putting out, great. Really, really good. A lot of respect for them. As far as this podcast that he's doing, this is part of his 12 pods of Christmas. So I think he's done this the last few years, where he puts out an episode every single day over Christmas. So go and check it out. I can't for the life of me remember what the go live date was on it. But go and check it out. There's a bunch of cool interviews with loads of other people, like an eclectic mix of folks on that. And you can subscribe for 1 month, or you can subscribe every month. You do get a whole bunch of other extra stuff behind the scenes, full vlogs from his shows. You get early access to stuff and other bits and pieces if you want to go check it out. I'll leave a link to his Patreon below if you want. But thanks so much for watching. Thanks for Colin for involving me in the podcast again. Catch you in the next video where I'm wearing a hat that's not squeezing my brains out of my ears. Laters. Baby Yoda, Baby Yoda, Baby Yoda.